All right. What's up, fellas?
Hey.
How we doing?
Eddie, Case, two young gentlemen who have restored my faith in the youth.
My mustache hairs, my face is exploding right now. I've decided that it's probably my mustache hairs going up into my nostrils and like making me sneeze a lot. I thought it was allergies. But
Well, I explained to you before we went live here that I believe you're allergic to cats, right?
yeah.
So pick up the animal that's right next to you.
Hold on. I got a cat here though. But
That's what I'm saying.
It's an alpha move, Abe.
If you're allergic to cats, it's not good to sleep with a cat.
Yeah, but I'm trying to face my fears, you know? Get them out of my body.
But that's like the only thing you're around at this point. You're interacting with cats more than you are humans, which by proxy, given your condition, is dangerous.
Your condition.
It's not that serious, Case. Calm down.
I'm looking out for you.
It is, because when I'm around a cat, my eyes explode.
Yeah, no, I used to be like that too. But then I started dating a girl. She had 2 cats.
Here we go.
And I liked the girl, so I was like, well, I better.
Oh, what's going on there with your mic? Is the cat on your cord?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
My bad.
Oh,
But yeah, no, I wanted to, get close with the lady. So I had to get over this cat thing. And,
wait, hang on. You got over it?
Yeah, this is what you do. It's just like the same way you get over disease. You just kind of like expose yourself to it.
You know what's interesting? I did have a dog for 14 years, Shelly, rest in peace. And I did get over, I think you're right. I mean, but like you said, you always have some allergies. You just get used to it, right?
Exposure therapy.
It's like those UFC fighters that kick like a palm tree or whatever.
Oh my God, I can't get over. I was watching it was like UFC 252, I think. It was
Reddit or something, or
whichever one that the Masvidal was fighting in last.
Yep.
A couple weeks ago. And they had this whole like 10-minute segment about this Australian guy who I don't even remember if he won or not. But
Volkanovski, I saw that. Alexander Volkanovski.
His big thing was that his coach made a poll. Like that was he was like, yeah, we don't have banana trees here in Australia.
Yeah.
So I had to invent a pole that he could.
Did you see his leg after he was kicking it?
Yeah, he's like, oh, I can't feel my shins. It's like, yeah.
By the way, if you're watching this, you could comment. Wait, let's see. I think I have to do something here for the comments to come in. Hang on. Sorry, fellas.
Come on now.
Let me go ahead and fix something really quick.
What I like about Abe is that he's always working on the fly. He could have had this prepared ahead of time, but he kind of likes to feel out the process as we're going along. He's very adaptive, and I like that. That's kind of what we're looking for in the modern workplace. Is someone that's very adaptive.
Kind of like a fighter pilot.
Yeah, Abe is kind of the radio equivalent of getting into dogfights, these aerial combatants. When Abe walks into the studio, he's preparing himself for a dogfight.
Exactly.
Oh, here we go. Okay, so it's working here. I believe this is a gentleman named Mike. What's up, Mike? Chiming in. Oh, Robert has an interesting question. Brodies.
Oh, what a loaded question. I mean,
that's what I was just about to get to. Before we now, let me tell you, Robert. Let me tell you this. Now, these are 2 gentlemen who restored my faith in the youth. When you hear about these young twinks these days, you're like a bunch of pussies. People always talk shit about the youth, and I'm like, you don't know anyone who's young, right? Exactly. It's like people who hate new music. They never listen to any new music.
It's true.
Or the idea that they say, like, oh, music today is just about sex and drugs, and then they go to a Motley Crue concert that summer. It's like, do you not understand, like, the hypocrisy of this? Like, it's the same thing that you like, it's just a newer version of it, and it makes you feel old and uncomfortable, so you don't embrace it.
Exactly. So these are 2 young... When I worked at WKQX, before my unceremonious exit...
Gone too soon.
So Eddie was the phone screener on the show, and then Case was an intern. So I worked with these guys every day in the studio, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed, and I would say that I've molded both of you gentlemen in my vision. Would you agree with that? Because you guys are definitely different after meeting me. I know you are.
I had never had Jersey Mike's before I met Abe, and now I notice it's like a steady part of my life between the text alerts and the app and the constant craving for a number 24. Abe, in that way, more than anything, has like impacted my life greatly.
So Jersey Mike, and it's funny that you bring up Jersey Mike's because Robert just said, if there's something Abe like young twinks, you know that's true, Robert. Actually, these are the first two twinks I've had on the show ever, but I enjoy these gentlemen. So, usually I can't talk to most people because they're boring as fuck, right? But I like gentlemen here. I like young Eddie and young Case. Two young. How old are you guys?
21.
21. Yeah.
220. See, look at these guys. They could talk.
We're in sync.
They can stand on their own feet. Everyone thinks like kids who are young, all they do is look at their phone. They suck. They have no personalities. They're a bunch of pussies. It's not true.
I mean, they're kind of right.
There are some flaws with the current generation now. It's not as widespread or as viral and infected as most older people think it is. We're not perfect by any means, but it's not an entire wasteland out there.
I think the problem, there's no more alphas, and me and Case are both alphas.
We don't have a couch in our living room. It's just a bench press.
Yeah.
We are looking to radicalize our living room by eating red meat and by pumping iron 24/7.
You guys are actually about to be roommates for the first time ever, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Starting in like a couple days?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Now, Eddie, the gentleman with the tattoos there, he's known. And by the way, if you want to follow these young twinks, here's their handles: _Case Low and Yankee Crundle.
I forgot I changed it to that.
What is that?
I thought it sounded like Yankee Candle. So
okay. So anyways, if you want to follow these. So now Eddie is the master of dating apps, correct?
Well, some would say.
So like Tinder, is that still your go-to?
Yeah, for sure. It's the easiest to use, but I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a master. I'm just out there.
Case, are you hoping to get some of Eddie's spillover ass?
I've been trying to get him some.
Under normal circumstances, I would at least be open to the idea, but I don't know if you guys have heard, we are living in a pandemic.
It doesn't stop Eddie.
And there is nothing that I want less than to have physical contact with people that I don't know where they've been. It's majorly concerning that Ed is acting as the modern day equivalent of Hugh Hefner and is opening our doors to whatever blonde bombshells want to come in our apartment. It's majorly concerning.
So you have a problem with that, Case? Eddie bringing over blonde bombshells?
Yes. Eddie bringing over a blonde bombshell and I get all concerned, like, oh no, what are we going to do? Yeah. But it's one of those things that I was thinking a few days ago about how I am in the unique position as a young person where not only has COVID impacted my dating life because now I don't want to go out and meet people, I was also in a year-long cold streak before COVID started. So I'm really behind the 8 ball. And now, I think like, well, if we have a vaccine by the beginning of the year, maybe enough people will have it by like June of next year to where I feel comfortable going outside and interacting with people. So I'm spending the prime of my manhood, my young 20s, the time where you're supposed to go out there and live, bunkered down, afraid of women, afraid to touch anybody. And I've accepted that. I don't want any of Eddie's, as you put it, spillover.
How disgusting is it going to be, though, to hear Eddie banging in the other room? Because you don't know what, you have a friend Eddie here. You don't know what it's like. You don't know kind of sick shit he does or whatever, the noises, the stuff he's saying. I know Eddie, and he's not much of a wordsmith. So I would be curious as to what he thinks is acceptable to say in those moments of intimacy, because I can't imagine it smooth. I mean, Eddie's a good-looking guy, but nobody's coming home with him for his brains and his wit.
I don't know about that, bud. Come on now.
You're a good-looking guy. You have won the genetic lottery. I look at you and I'm like, that is a good-looking young man. I looked at myself in the mirror a few days ago, and it set in that this is how I look now. That this is what it's going to be. Now, I do have the benefit that I think as I age, it's going to get to a point where it's like I started here. So if I fall a little bit, it's not that bad. Whereas maybe some of your twinkish high school quarterbacks that were up here, when they fall, it's going to be a much rougher journey for them. I at least am in the thick of it right now.
Yeah, you have nothing to be depressed about yet. Like they're gonna right now. They're at the high school quarterback. He's still riding high, right? Because he's still hanging out with the underclassmen. There he is. It's Burns. Burns, man, what's up, brother? Hey, what's up, dudes? Hey, what's going on? You in college? Nah, man, taking a year off. Cool, man. You still partying? Fuck yeah, I'll be at the. So he's party. They could party for a couple years, right?
Of course.
Then as soon as that kicks in, that like man. It really, there's been 3 starting quarterbacks since I was the starting quarterback.
Yeah,
it's like people, unless you start working at the school as like a coach, that's their only option to like still be cool. There he is, Coach Burns. Yeah, man, I remember getting pussy, man. Which is always awkward because Coach Burns is 37 and you're talking to a 15-year-old kid, right?
What high school did you go to where this was the scenario?
He's actually right. He's actually right because I did this exact same thing in high school. Because I had a coach. I didn't play. I was terrible at football, but
you did play, didn't you? I thought you were the starter, like an offensive lineman or something.
I was an offensive lineman. I wasn't a starter by any means.
Oh,
we had a young coach that came in, and he just took me under his wing, and we just like chilled. And he was like, in his 30s, and I was like 16. But
he didn't try to molest you, did he?
And Chris Hansen came out from behind the counter. He's like, "Take a seat right there. I have some questions."
What? Why do you have a webcam and condom? Oh, no, I'm his coach. Yeah, okay. No, wait, Eddie, hang on. He took you under his wing. Explain this.
Just hung out, I'm not like...
Drink a Zima? Like, what do you mean?
Wait, how old were you? Hang on. Slow down here. How old were you?
I was like 15, 16.
And he was, what, 30?
About, yeah, maybe late 20.
Okay. So, first of all, explain how you went about hanging out. How did it start?
Well, it started out because most football players are really stupid, and they needed someone to help, like, signal in plays.
Yep.
And since I knew all the plays, they're like, "Oh, you'll do that." So I started doing that, and he was also there to tell me plays and stuff like that. And then we just got to talking, and then a friendship blossomed.
But wait, hang on. Where did you hang out?
Just at practice after practice.
That's not hanging out. I thought you meant like he came over to your house.
No.
Wait, it sounds like something happened. Where did you guys hang out at?
No, it was like, in the locker room, in the showers, wherever.
No, but really, did you guys ever leave the school?
No, there was maybe it was like 1 or 2 times, but it was like a team function. Like,
and what was he telling you about getting laid and stuff?
No, it's just basics. Maybe a little bit. I don't know. I don't remember.
Just the basics of getting laid.
I have brain damage from football, so I don't know. I barely remember high school.
Never trust a man who tells you, dude, greatest years of my life. Like, hang on. The greatest years of your life were 14, 15, 16, and 17, 2 of which you're a 14 and 15-year-olds. You ever see what they look like now? They look like little kids.
Well, yes, I'm glad you know that they're children. I mean, a 15-year-old is mentally and physically underdeveloped.
They look like a child. They act like a child. They are a child, right? So when they talk about like, yeah, man, I got the most pussy in high school, it's like, whoa.
Whoa, you.
Like, dude, sophomore year, man. Remember Kimmy, man? She was so hot. It's like, wait, you're talking about a 15-year-old here.
It's the weirdest part of predatory behavior is the fact that they want to spend time with a 14-year-old when you're a 36-year-old part-time firefighter and you're messaging a 14-year-old and saying, we should hang out. You're really cool. You're a really cool girl. We need to get together. That's the weirdest part of it. It's all bad, but that's the most extreme part.
No, I'm talking about, that's called a pedophile. I'm talking about when he's talking about when he was 14.
Yeah.
If a 37-year-old's contacting a 14-year-old, we need to call the police immediately.
That's what I'm saying. I'm glad you realized that.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the 37-year-old who's talking about when he was 14. Yeah, man, I got laid all the time. It was great. Kimmy was hot. It's like, you're 37 now. At the time she was 14. You're talking about a child. Those should not be, your 4 years in high school should not be the greatest years of your life. It doesn't matter what you did in high school. You were a kid. I mean, it was like, it's fun. Like, yeah, man, no, dude, man, just partied all day. Okay, that's fine. But like, the best years, you're getting laid years in high school when that's like your peak, there's a problem because they keep talking, yeah, man, all the time, bro. And I feel like the kids that like get laid too quick, they lose all their innocence, right? And they lose all their creativity because that's all they care about.
Given my career choices, it is very apparent that I did not get laid in high school. So I don't empathize with those people at all. I did not have friends growing up. I did not talk to women in high school. So yeah, if you're peaking there, I think that's obviously very concerning.
Again, Raymond just chiming in here. Who are these guys with Abe? So these guys worked with me at my last radio station. So in case you didn't know, and like Douglas here misses me in Indy. Douglas, everyone misses me in Indy, apparently. That's all I've been hearing about. Even for people at the station. Anyway. So you know what I found out after losing my job in Indianapolis? I had a ton of listeners who loved the show. That's what I found out. Raymond, who are these guys? Again, so I worked at WKQX in Chicago. I also hosted mornings in Indianapolis. I did both shows from Chicago.
Double duty.
So I worked with these two young gentlemen, these two twinks, and I liked work. I had a lot of fun working with them. So that's why I'm bringing them on the podcast, because they're fun to talk to. They're not like your usual twinks.
Oh, what do you mean by that, bud?
Those people? What do you mean?
What do you mean by those people? So anyways, back to what we were saying.
Yeah.
It's weird when you talk about, dude, the best years of my life getting laid, high school. You're 15.
Yeah, I mean, but like I could look back to 4th grade and be like, my first crush was, I don't even remember who it was, but like, I don't think it's that weird because you remember it like at the same time. So that 4-year-old is no longer a 4-year-old, so you should be able to talk about that person, right?
Hang on, Bass is talking shit here. Boy, I missed the phone call and I get booted from the Abe Kanan. So sorry, Bass, that's how it works. But hang on, Bass. Let me go ahead and send you a link here. Now watch, he's not even gonna. This is the worst. I hate when people say stuff like this, and then Bass won't even click on the link. Bass is watching this right now.
I think the question to ask while we're getting set up is there a statute of limitations to where a memory of lust might expire? When you're 36, is it weird to still be fawning over your 15-year-old relationship? And that's a moral question that I don't have an answer to.
Yeah, there's a problem. You shouldn't be thinking about stuff from when you were 15 when you're 40.
My real question actually is, so when is that age where it stops mattering that you're like a decade older than your spouse?
I don't think that ever happens.
Maybe 25, 35. I don't know.
Yeah, but...
Oh, look at Bass. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I'm on the air. Well, then don't complain. What are you doing, Bass? Bass just sent this. Boy, I missed one phone call. I get booted from the Abe Kanan podcast. And then I said, hey, come on. Oh, sorry. Did you dirty Bass? I didn't mean to click on that one, but look at Robert. Bass, you always miss the phone call. That's right. And then complains about it. I'm on the air. Well, then don't complain.
How are you watching the show right now?
Bass, it's just nice to be invited. I love Mary. Mary is one of the. She's listened to every show I've done.
That's dedication.
Thank you, Mary.
Back to Sirius and all these other shows. So Mary's maybe the most dedicated listener. You don't hear from her much, but she might be the most dedicated listener ever.
She's there.
So, anyways, it's just weird to me when you're still talking about getting laid at 15. Yeah, man. Remember grammar school football, man? We kicked their ass.
Grammar school football.
I know. I remember guys who talk. Yeah, man. We killed St. Bede. We killed him. It's like.
I feel like that's just a real alpha move. You're just not. I remember every football game I ever played in. Like every opponent. It was all, it's manly shit. I don't know what to tell you.
You know what's funny? When I wrestled in high school, I was pretty shitty, but like senior year, I started junior and there's Bass. Hang on. Let's get him on here.
Get on.
I remember guys who talk. Yeah, man. Bass, turn down the radio. We killed him. Turn that down, baby.
Dude, you're just not.
It's still on. Turn it down.
I remember every football
turn
game
it off.
Played in. Like every opponent.
Bass, turn down the volume of the podcast.
It's manly shit. I don't know.
Can you hear me, Bass? You know what's funny? When I wrestled, he's nodding his head. I was pretty shitty. Bass, like senior year. You hear me? I started. Bass, what's going on?
That's like it's his first day in the industry.
Bass, you hear me? Bass, turn down the radio. Okay, so if you're listening to this on the audio version, Bass, can you hear me? Bass. What's he doing? Bass, can you hear me?
I can't hear you guys for nothing.
Oh, there you go. Now we can hear you at least. Can you hear me now? You can't hear me? Bass, can you hear me? If you're listening on the audio version, I'm very sorry. Bass, can you hear me? He just hung up. So that's what you get with Bass.
Abe, what's happening in your life that doesn't involve 15-year-olds? Is there anything else that's really sticking up here right now, or is it just yelling at people you didn't like in high school still?
How did we get off on that?
I don't know.
I don't even know how we got there.
We're talking about how cool I was with my coach.
Oh, that's right. So he did not molest you? That's
not that I remember. Could be repressed, but
now, Eddie, let's move into something a little bit different here because, Case mentioned he was thankful that I turned him on to Jersey Mike's. And Eddie sent us, first of all, he sends us a message acting like he created Firehouse Subs. Like now this is Eddie's spot. Like, oh, whoa, Eddie, Firehouse Subs, what's that? Like, Eddie, hang on. You really think I never tried Firehouse Subs? Me?
I assumed that you have had Firehouse Subs. I also don't know because we just got one back where I grew up, and that's where I am right now. I'm in Ohio. Yeah. We don't have many fancy things here. So that went in place of like, it used to be a Wendy's and then they put in a Firehouse Subs. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a try. And I mean, I didn't realize it was even a chain. I thought it was just like a one-off. So it's been there for years now and I'd never tried it. And then once I met you, you put me onto J Mike's, and then I realized that you
J Mike's. Okay, let me find this text.
But Eddie, you're neglecting the fact that Abe shovels subs down his throat by the truckload. So if there's a chain that exists, which there's Firehouse Subs in Chicago, I know you've passed them. You're just not paying attention to yourself. And I agree, Firehouse Subs is trash. So just think for a second, Ed. Of course, Abe has tried it.
You haven't had Firehouse trash.
You never had Firehouse, Case?
I haven't. But I have no interest because
it's trash.
No. Because it's not Jersey Mike's, which at this point is all I care about. And again, I was someone that had never tried Jersey Mike's before I met Abe Kanan, and then he grabbed me by the hand and took me there, and I got a big lunch order and ate all my food, and it was such a wonderful meal. And ever since then, I've been just smitten with it.
Abe will even agree to this. J Mike's isn't like the pinnacle of subs. I know that he would prefer to go to like an Italian deli or somewhere that they like. It has the family. They sprinkle that into it. It has the tradition. That's the best sub.
You're right, Eddie. The mom and pop sub shops, they are the best.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about Jersey Mike's. Number one, it's the best. Number two, I'm on the toilet immediately.
Yeah. So okay, there's a lot of problems. That's my. I wanted to like see if there was possibly someone that could stack up to it because I love Jersey Mike's. It's one of the only sub spots I can eat. I have celiac disease. I can't eat subs anywhere unless
you can't have gluten, right?
Yeah, they have to have gluten-free bread, and Jersey Mike's was the only one that I knew of that had it.
Pete says, J Mike's. I can't wait to annoy my girlfriend calling it that. Case started something new. J Mike's.
I mean, of course, the mom and pop restaurants are going to be better than the chains. That's not necessarily something on my budget as a art school student that is currently unemployed. It's not necessarily something that I have in my budget.
Hang on, you go to Columbia, the same school we all went to.
Yeah,
and it's not like we're swimming in cash.
I know.
The difference is that
you're acting like you're like some guy that Sarah Jessica Parker was banging in Sex and the City. Oh, he's an art school student.
Please, that would be great if that was my future. That would be incredible. But like, Abe can afford going, hell and high water to these sub shops because Abe's only budget is food. He's cycled in the same like Macho Man, Randy Savage, and Hulk Hogan t-shirts for the past 20 years, and then a sweatshirt from the Loop. Like Abe spends money on nothing else but food.
This is a Beatles shirt.
Oh, great.
Yellow Submarine. I know you hate the Beatles.
I don't hate the Beatles. I just have anything interesting that needs to be said about the Beatles has already been said. I would rather listen to newer bands that still have a journey. What I'm going to have an original Beatles take? Like, no one cares. They're the Beatles. They've won. Move on to another band.
Really quick here. Mike chiming in, Gaming CX. Got to introduce the fellas to the Continental sauce. Now, the Continental sauce, gentlemen, a place on the south side called Tony's Beef. They have this sauce called Continental sauce. It's the greatest sauce ever. And you dip everything in the Continental sauce. So go there. Joe from Chicago, Mr. Submarine is far superior. Now, here's the thing about Mr. Submarine, Joe. Depends on who's making the sandwich. You have some asshole who tells you, And he goes, when I said extra mayo, he goes, oh, you want both sides of the bun, right? You want to taste the mayo. That made me sick, right? It was embarrassing and it made me sick. Oh, you want to taste? He goes, I was at Mr. Submarine. I'm like, can I have extra mayo? He's like, yeah, both sides, right? Both sides of the bun. He goes, you want to taste it?
Taste it, you dirty.
Is that creepy?
Yeah.
Did you taste it? Was it worthwhile? Was it good?
I did taste it. And right on cue, here's Bass. Bass, can you hear me now?
Oh, I can hear you.
Oh, good. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. It's Bass. Do you guys know Bass?
No.
I've never heard of these two nutbags a day in my life.
This is a case in
When I log on to Facebook and I see two strangers with Abe Kanan, I can't stand it. I can't. I'm on the radio right now. I can't stand this.
It sure looks like
Abe is my bitch. I don't know who you guys are.
Wait, actually,
I claim.
Wait, isn't it the opposite?
It could be, but we're not going to go
Aren't you my bitch?
we're not going there just yet.
That's good. Well, Bass, you came in at the perfect time because we're talking about Mr. Submarine.
Oh, Mr. Submarine is. I only had Mr. Submarine with you, to be honest. I like Jersey Mike's better.
Thank you. Thank you.
How do you feel about Firehouse Subs, though?
Firehouse Subs is good because on Sundays it's free food for kids, and I make sure my son orders double so I can eat it. So it's perfect.
Wait, really? It's free food?
For kids.
For the firefighter.
What did they give them?
They give like a ham sandwich, some chips, a soda, and maybe the New Yorker if the kid asks just about right.
Eddie, could you shave your whole body so I could bring you in there as a child?
Yeah, for sure.
Joe from Chicago, Washington and Wells is the best Mr. Submarine in the city.
Mr. Submarine's only Chicago, though, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, that's not even it can't just be, it has to be a chain that's everywhere. If we're talking about the best sub ever, because it has to be
Not really.
Everyone has to be able to access it.
That doesn't mean anything, though. I mean, you could. They say the best cheesesteaks are in Philadelphia, right?
Yeah.
Well, I have heard that.
Hang on, guys. The only cheesesteaks that count are Arby's because you can access them everywhere.
I have heard that Publix is supposed to be the best submarine place.
Again, Bass, don't bring that up as if I haven't tried it. Yes, I have tried Publix subs. Everyone brings up these sub places.
I'm not bringing it up as if you haven't tried. I'm just saying that's another chain place in another region that not everybody has access to.
Everyone acts like Publix subs are the best. I've never had anything better. They're fine. They're fine. I'll eat them.
Are you saying Mr. Submarine is the best sub you've ever had, even though you requested Jersey Mike's on your birthday?
That's true. I did have. Instead of my mom's like, "Hey, where do you guys want to go for your birthday?" I'm like, she's naming all these nice restaurants. I'm like, let's just get Jersey Mike's.
That's nice. I'm sure your mother enjoyed that.
She did because it's like way cheaper than going to Gibson's. It's like some asshole. If you're an asshole, if your mother's buying you a birthday dinner and you say, "Let's go to Gibson's," you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Well, if she's offering.
Well, wait. I bet exactly that Abe Kanan had his mom order enough food from Jersey Mike's to way exceed anything he would have spent at a Gibson Steakhouse in Chicago.
I think it was like $90.
There was like 9 king sandwiches made Mike's way. You don't think that cost money?
Well, you know what the key was too? She ordered and I'm like, "Did you give him my Jersey points card?" She's like, "Oh, I forgot." I'm like, I went back in there with my card and I had them give me the points.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, I got to jump and do another job. Nice meeting you guys.
All right,
Bye.
there he goes. A nice little cameo there from Bass.
What a guy.
That's incredible. You look, Abe Kanan has pull, okay? People come to Abe Kanan, all right? It's nice. I feel important.
Have you ever seen anything where someone brings someone in that quickly?
Oh.
It was a flawless execution.
I mean, what execution? Honestly, the execution of that. Bass, I don't have a phone screener here.
Uh-oh.
Did you see that execution?
Yeah.
Again, if you're listening to this, go on my YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. By the way, if you're on Twitch, friend me on Twitch and subscribe and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Add Abe Kanan on everything. It's easy.
Yeah.
Because we're still on the quest to 100,000 listeners. What does 100,000 listeners mean to me?
You probably are going to go out and buy a celebratory sub if you get 100,000 listeners. I don't know if that's your pinnacle that you've been working towards, but it sounds nice.
What does it mean if one of us have 100,000 listeners?
That means you're important.
It means freedom.
Is that what it is?
100,000 listeners equals a nice living for anyone.
Is that all it takes? If that's the case, my God, please subscribe because I would like Abe to be able to pay some bills.
What we do here, it's called the tell three friends rule, okay? You want to explain what that is, Eddie?
Tell three friends. So you tell three friends about the show, and then they tell three friends about the show, and then so on and so forth until we have 100,000.
Exactly. You tell three friends, they tell three friends, they tell three friends. And you know what's funny? I posted this thing on my Facebook that it was like national, which I hate National Radio Day because everyone's like, yeah, so I was at Poughkeepsie, WMMR. Hey, a little 6 stones on, we look for your coffee. This is chugging your beer. I got to fly, man. Rock and roll, brother. So like everyone puts like their laundry list. So I put up tombstones of all the stations I worked at. And it's funny because all these people are like, oh, I remember when you were like, they all listened at different points. So I wonder if they still listen now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's funny that like each person had something different. Like some people are like, go back and work with Mancow. I loved Y101. I love the Howard Stern, when you worked on Howard Stern's channel. I love the indie show. I love blah, 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 blah. And it's funny. Each person has a different place. Just all come here right now. We'll bring in all 100,000. And then guess what? I'll be making like, I don't know, tons of money. And then everyone will be happy.
Yeah.
Abe's current his only income right now is online poker. So it would be nice if we could get 100,000 listeners for Abe. And I liked the tombstone graphic. It was creative. I saw nobody else within the industry doing that. Job well done. I just hope you get to the point where you're not relying on gambling to pay your bills.
Well, I made in a 3-day period, I made more money than I've ever made in my life in a 3-day period. I made $8,300 in 3 days.
You're one of those elitists I was warned about. You're hoarding wealth now from your online poker wins. I am trying to distribute the wealth equally among some of these people.
Besides Howard Stern, I don't know anyone else who makes $83 in 3 days.
$83?
$8,300, sorry.
And Howard Stern's the only one you know that makes that kind of money?
There's a lot of...
Let's think about it. Well, actually, that's not true because 83... Well, actually, no. Okay. I take that back. It's only like $1 million a year.
Yeah.
But that you know personally, or that you can think of?
But hang on. Let's see. Let's do this. I mean, I'm very good at street math, but I'm not in the mindset to do it right now. So let me just.
That's true. I've always said that about Abe. He's really good at street math. One of the things that really impressed me about him early on was the mental math that this guy could do.
You honestly, all joking aside, you were impressed with my skills.
That is true because I had an assignment at work once where I was trying to get things down by the minute, but I forget that a minute is 60 seconds and not 100. And Abe just kind of had that mental math ready to go, and I was very impressed by that.
This is the number I would make for the year if I continue my poker journey. $1,009,833. If I continue on this, you know.
I mean,
Jeff is chiming in on my text messaging saying Bari subs, which I agree. Bari subs are delicious. Bari and D'Amato's right next to each other.
Are those mom and pop?
And then, yeah, they're all. And then Vinny's subs, right? I love Vinny's subs on Grand.
Well, those are obviously going to be better. I feel like those shouldn't be counted.
But anyways, gentlemen, could you believe I won $8,300 in 3 days?
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised knowing you because I just felt like somehow you figured out how to count cards online. I don't know. You're cheating probably. And you got in there.
No, you don't count cards in poker. You're thinking of blackjack.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the result is surprising. The person doing it is not, because Abe is going to trip ass backwards into a pile of cash no matter where he goes. I'm used to it by now. I've accepted it.
I like this Abe. I like this version of Abe where he can just gamble and make his living and then podcast. That would be cool.
Then I would a bunch of 21-year-olds.
Yeah. I have no problem with that. I would love that whole situation.
You saw the graphic. You saw the grave signs. National Radio Day.
What did they call it when they said Chris D'Elia was talking to like underage girls? They were
grooming them.
Really cool.
Right now, I'm grooming you two.
Oh,
for an eventual. Hey, do you guys want to like at 3 a.m? Hey, you guys want to come over? I got beer.
Yeah, Abe. Yeah, I mean, if you want to groom me for your path of success, I wouldn't mind that. But I have to say, anything else is off the table right now.
Like Eddie's. I'm like, Eddie, remember your football coach? I have a whistle around my neck. Eddie, do you remember this? Remember when Coach came over, Eddie?
Abe's wearing gym shorts when Eddie comes over at 3 a.m.
He rode a scooter.
Oh, just go downstairs. Go where are the chairs at? Oh, you could just lay in the bed. There's enough room. What would you do if you went to someone's house and they told you to go lay on the bed? Hang on. This is a real question. Let's say you guys were hanging out with someone, right?
Okay.
And you went to their house. Because I'm sure you guys still do that, right? Like, I rarely have some random person saying, hey, let's hang out. And then I come over there and I'm like hanging out at their house, right? I don't do that as much as you guys do because you're younger, right?
Did I show up to somebody's house that I don't know?
No. Like, okay, let's see. You're in psychology class at Columbia, right? Which I'm sure is a great psychology program.
It was not. It was not.
Exactly. I know. I went there. It was awful. Here's a tip. If you're going to a place like Columbia, take all your gen eds at a community college.
You should do that anyway. No matter the school you go to, like you should. Like I 100% college is bullshit. You should just get it.
I don't agree with that because a gentleman named Tom Joyce at Columbia, he got me my first internship at Q101, which led me to a 20-year career.
I mean,
Tom Joyce got me my first internship at WKQX, and I had a job until COVID.
Tom Joyce is he's pretty mad at me right now.
He is?
Yeah, I scheduled a meeting with him just to chat. And like 3 times in a row, I've just not shown up.
What? Who are you?
I'm terrible. That's who I am. I don't know. I'm never like this. It's just when it's Tom Joyce, he just gets me all flustered, and
you get nervous?
Yeah.
So, hey, what's your question? So I go over to somebody's house.
So you meet some kid named Jesse, right?
Nice.
Dude, man, Jesse, like I could see this happening to Case for sure, okay? Case hanging out with this gentleman, Jesse.
Not surprising.
And they're like, man, dude, Jesse's cool. Like Case is talking to Eddie, right? Because Eddie and Case are roommates. You guys are in separate chairs though, right? Like in the living room. You guys aren't both laying on the bed, like talking, right? Like head to head. You guys aren't laying like this, right? Looking at each other.
I have done that.
With a guy?
Yeah, with a close bud. Nothing wrong with that.
You're both laying in your bed like that?
Feet to head.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Hang on.
On that, you've never slept in the same bed as someone?
Hang on. Okay, the cap here is your head.
Yep.
This is his head. You guys are laying in the bed like this?
No. That would be
That's what I'm saying.
Both on our stomachs with our like feet picked up.
Yeah.
No, it's like when you're sleeping in the same bed as one of your bros, what you do is...
Speaking of Jesse, this is my boy Jesse here. I know it says Jesus,
but close enough.
His real name is Jesse. Well, that's what I know him as. But he says, I want to make your kind of money. Well, Jesse, all you got to do is be a degenerate and play online poker.
Easy enough.
Anyways, so what would you do? Let's say a gentleman named It's funny that Jesse popped up when I'm talking about Jesse. So this cool guy, right, Case? Jesse. He's like, yeah, I love vinyl too. I love your podcast. I think you're really intelligent when you talk about music and all this stuff.
Yeah, it's not boring at all.
Yeah, there's nothing boring about you. I think your Expos hat's fucking cool. You're like, Eddie, this guy's awesome, right?
Yeah, I really like him.
You're like, I'm going to go over. Now, here's what I recommend. If you ever go to someone's house like that, you should tell Eddie the address where you're going. Because if he don't come back, and you guys should also be on Find My Friends where you know where each other are at all times.
This is an interesting situation, especially in my context, given that for most of my life, I have really struggled to connect with other men. I have very few male friends. So suddenly...
honestly, you said most people think you're gay. They don't understand. They just assume you're gay.
That is true.
I never assumed. I don't assume.
That's why you have a real friend in Eddie. Eddie just thought, this is a cool guy. I eventually want to be roommates with him.
And invite him over, send him to the bedroom. Yeah, I mean, as someone that has very few male friends, if I had met someone that liked the same music I did and thought my Expos hats were cool and liked, whatever other bullshit I'm into, if he invited me over and was like, Case, we're undergoing renovations right now, but you can lay in my bed, I'm probably not seeing any red flags at that point. I'm probably going to curl up and see what happens next.
So Jesse, you go to his house.
Yes.
You're like, dude, Jesse lives in a loft. He's fucking cool, man. Eddie, Jesse has his own loft. Eddie's like, really? A loft? That's awesome.
No way.
It's some kind of weird stair setup, too, so you have to walk by yourself.
Yeah, it's all one person at a time, just given the width and kind of the strength of the stairs, we can't go together. So I'm kind of waiting for him on the second story of the loft.
Yeah, and the door's open. He's like, just go in, the door's open.
Yeah.
So you have to go up all these stairs. You walk in. You just see a big bed, right?
King size.
king size bed, and he's like, "I'll go ahead, man, lay on the bed. I'll be in a second."
The verbiage there is important because if he says lay on the bed, I'm a little bit concerned just because I don't know what's coming next, and it's likely in advance that I'm not going to want. Specifically with the verbiage lay on the bed, if I go up there and he's like, make yourself comfortable, I'm going to sit on the edge of the bed until I find out what's going on. And then, he plays Marvin Gaye, and I realize, oh my God, okay, this is what's happening now.
Oh, hang on. If he's locking the door with a key.
Am I getting murdered or am I getting laid? What is the scenario?
I'm saying, what would you do? You guys locking the door with the key, telling you, just go lay on the bed. This is the cool dude you met in school, Jesse.
I feel like there are a lot of situations where if your instinct is to leave, you need to leave. And this, at this point, once I see that I am barricaded in a bedroom with a man that I do not know very well, my instinct at that point is to break a window, break down the door. I don't know, push him over, leave the situation at that point. I think so many problems could be solved if people left situations where they felt the inclination to get out of there.
That's right, man. It's real.
Glenn said that the gentleman might want a spoon.
Would you? Okay, I think it would be a red flag if he said go lay on the bed. You get in there, it's like a huge California king.
Also, what's up, Carson? I'm sorry, go ahead, Eddie.
It's like a California king size bed. He comes in, he locks the door, but it's one of those like old timey castle locks. On the bed, it's a water bed. Nobody has a water bed anymore.
Yeah. If the guy at my psychology class invites me over and he lives in a modified loft dungeon hybrid, I would be very concerned because that is the situation that we've laid out.
I'd only be concerned if there was a water bed.
My aunt and uncle used to have a water bed. What an uncomfortable way to sleep.
Yeah. Sloshing around. You don't live.
I know that was cool in the 80s, but it's like, could you imagine sleeping on a water bed? Like, what does anyone do they even make water beds?
Oh, they have to.
Yeah.
Do they?
I would think so. I mean, it's a market that is likely on the downslope, but it's not completely eradicated. I think for some people that's very comfortable. Not me, not a fan personally. I like a softer mattress, but I could see the appeal of a waterbed to some people.
Remember they would have to burp it? Do you remember that?
I do not, Abe. My life began in 1999, which is typically where your cultural references end.
There's a lot of waterbeds on Amazon.
Really? You know, in case it's funny you say that because that's the year I graduated from high school, the year you were born, and it hurts my feelings that people don't know Goodfellas references. It just sucks now because the teeter-totter of life is starting to go this way with people who don't know Goodfellas references. So I'm like, you motherfucker, what's so funny about me, you know? Hey, Tommy, you got it all. No. He's a big boy. No, Anthony, he's a big boy. No, you said it. What the fuck is so like? A lot of people don't know shit from Goodfellas, and it's like the older I get, the less people who know it.
I understand that, and I've seen the movie, and I understand the vocal range that you just showed, but it is one of those things where that movie came out in 1990. Now, it's a great movie. I think everybody should see it, but the world is evolving. It wouldn't be weird to me if a freshman in high school didn't even know what it was. Now, of course, he's going to move into college. He's going to need posters for his dorm, and he will be buying a Goodfellas poster. But it's not weird to me that the youth of today is not picking up on your keen Goodfellas references.
I don't know. If it's on Netflix, I could see them watching it. You know?
Yeah, but it's like, but it's just like when I was in high school, everyone knew it, right?
Yeah,
because that was 21 years ago.
What do you guys know? Like, what are the big references for you guys? Like High School Musical or some shit?
That's a big one, I would say. I mean, we were in the era, like the end of the boy band kind of thing that happened in the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah.
Well, we were on the end of that in the sense that, yes, those bands were no longer around by the time we could talk. I mean, I wouldn't consider myself to be...
like my first like CD was Backstreet Boys. Like, it was still huge when we were little.
Was it huge, or were you just like listening to a shitty Backstreet Boys album?
Actually, I couldn't tell you.
One of the
hang on, Eddie. Wait, you bought that in what year? Like 2002 or something? 3?
Yeah, something like that. I didn't buy it. I didn't have money. I was like 4.
Wasn't there a run over by then?
Yeah, no, for sure. But like, they were still big.
Were they big, or were you just listening to shitty music?
Okay, well then another good example would be like One Direction. They were another boy band. They were
well, One Direction is one that everybody my age knows.
Yeah.
So like me, right? When I think about pop music, I'll be like, oh, Britney Spears, because she was popular when I was in high school, right? And before that, New Kids on the Block, because I was like a little kid when they were around, right?
For us, I mean, I think like the biggest artists, other than like you're given like Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Drake, that sort of deal. Like if I think about what kids in my high school liked, and not necessarily what I liked, but like the consensus was like, I don't know, like Mac Miller and like Lil Uzi Vert, and like those are the type of things that I associate people in my high school listening to. Now,
Lil Uzi Vert.
Yes.
Yeah,
now, look, not an artist I enjoy. In high school, I was fully on the emo revival train and listening to the Modern Baseballs and the Joyce Manners and the Front Bottoms of the world. But I was the minority in that sense.
Sure, yeah.
Well, I feel like I'm really missing out. I should have been a rapper right now, because I'm telling you, I could write a great rap song right now. I actually did write one called "Twerk Your Ass Off."
Okay.
Okay.
I know where we're going.
And I could see you ever see those Instagram women with those disgusting fake asses where they just pump it up with just a bunch of shit. You just here's tons of shit to pop into that. Why do you pull it up? Is that one of the Tinder girls?
Sorry, what?
I said, is that one of your Tinder girls?
No fake asses, not yet.
Yeah, not something I typically come across on my Instagram feed either. Is I don't see a lot of plastic surgery in my feed. That could be the demographics. That could just be a thing that I'm not into. But you know,
I'm in a group of friends that are just degenerates, and that's all they do is send videos of women like their asses and stuff. And it's like I honestly don't even look at all of them, but it's like you can't help but see them where it's like just some girl shaking her ass, right?
Yeah.
And they're always listening to shitty rap music while they're doing it. So listen to this song I wrote, okay? This is called "Twerk Your Ass Off," okay? Now, let me know how I should hit the lyrics, okay? Yeah. You see that ass? Foolish boy, wanna get to it. Dummy boy, wanna get to it. Twerk your ass off. Twerk your ass off. Twerk your ass off. Twerk your ass off. Dummy boy, wanna get to it. Foolish boy, wanna get to it. Twerk your ass off. Twerk your ass off. Twerk your ass off. Twerk your ass off. Come on. Yeah, let's see that booty right quick. What do you think?
So you have something working for you in the sense that sounds like it could be put on the radio tomorrow with a little bit more production. I mean, it's not far off. The issue that you're going to run into
with the proper compression,
yes,
yeah, master,
proper production, everything.
There's something there. I can say that. Like there's something. If I was a record producer, I could latch on to something there. The issue that you're going to run into is I have been working on a theory. It's kind of two parts. One, that Juvenile's "Back That Ass Up" is one of the greatest songs in American songwriting history. And on top of that black excellence, when we talk about the James Baldwins and the Martin Luther King Jr.'s of the world, I think the first 6 or 7 years of the Cash Money, Birdman, Lil Wayne, Manny Fresh, Juvenile, I legitimately think that stuff should be archived and preserved and looked at as this great form of black expression. And you are, in a sense, infringing on the rights of Juvenile when he told people to back that ass up.
Yeah, but this is "Twerk Your Ass Off."
Mm-hmm.
Which is, I mean, look, if you release it, I'll listen to it. I like the song. I like what you're doing there, kid. I'm just warning you about some possible instance that might occur.
Can I do it with this vocal? Twerk your ass off. Twerk your ass. Like, I need to make it like sound less like it shouldn't be twerk your ass. It shouldn't be like that. It should be more like twerk your ass off. Twerk your ass off. Dummy boy, wanna get doing. Foolish boy, wanna get.
The mumbling helps, and what you have down is the in between the lyrics, you're laughing in your sort of hype man presence. I think you flawlessly executed. That needs to stay.
Yeah, see that booty. For sure. Yeah, let's see that. Yo, let's see those 2 pounds of flesh. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like that. Like, yeah, drop the what? You guys could chime in too for this part. Yeah. All right, here we go. Dummy boy, wanna get to it. Foolish boy, wanna get to it. Twerk your ass up, twerk your ass up, twerk your ass up, twerk your ass up. Foolish boy, wanna get to it. Dummy boy, wanna get to it. Twerk your ass up, twerk your ass up. Should I do it like that? Twerk your ass up.
Kind of asthmatic and just running out of breath as you go along.
Wanna get to it. Foolish boy, wanna get to it. Did it. Twerk your ass off. Twerk your ass off. Now, come on. Here we go. I never seen a bitch working like that. I never seen a bitch working like that. I never seen a photo doing like that. Now, twerk your ass off. 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 Dummy boy. It's foolish motherfucker.
I was getting more of like an early 2000s type like feel from that. Like
it's nice. I like it.
Rap. I like it, but like I wouldn't say that the younger generation would be into it. Like you'd have to throw some like auto tune onto it.
Well, of course. This is just a demo.
Of course. Hey, Eddie, don't be foolish now. This is just a demo. Abe, I mean, I like it. I thought it was interesting that you invited Eddie and I to collaborate on that track. We are obviously two white guys that are not necessarily well-versed in the arts of twerking. I am on record as typically liking white women so small that you could throw them like a football. So it's interesting that you invited us onto the track. I don't really have anything to add in that department.
If someone could take that clip and put it on Instagram Reels or TikTok and then match it up with someone twerking, that would be very nice.
I think it would be a big hit. That might get you to your 100,000 listeners.
In fact, if we have any Instagram models, I'm giving you permission right now to use that clip on your Instagram page when you know your usual daily ass video. Like, can you imagine that you wake up and it's just like, oh, here's my ass? Like,
who are you following on Instagram that gives you a daily ass video?
That's what I'm telling you.
There's so many people that do that. I actually went to school with someone who's an Instagram model now.
Get her on right now.
I don't think she's an Instagram model. I think she's a model.
Yeah, okay.
No. Like she does shoots with like not Victoria. She's not.
You know that's an oxymoron, right? An Instagram model. There's no such thing. You're either a model or you're an Instagram ass shaker.
She's a model. She's not an ass shaker. She's a model. She does like clothing brands and like lingerie and stuff.
Oh, Beverly, what are you doing now? Oh, I shake my ass on Instagram. Like, I have like 400,000 followers. It's so funny. I just want 100,000. They get 400,000 just to put their ass on Instagram.
They deserve it.
Yes, they're attractive women. Of course they do, Abe. You're not an attractive woman.
But it's fucked up, right? Here I am delivering all this content. I can't get 100,000. They get 400,000 like that. Like, you haven't checked out Little Miss C's page? No. Oh, she has 500,000 followers in 3 weeks. It's like, what?
I mean, Abe, for as good as this show is, I'm not receiving orgasmic bliss from it. And I think that is where the extra 300,000 followers come from.
So you're saying we have to deliver something that someone could jerk off to?
We got a bust.
Orgasm in the ear.
It's funny, we were talking about, losers, right, who think about their high school days. But at some point, you guys are going to fall into something. Like, you guys aren't always going to be on the cutting edge, right? Something can happen to you guys where, like, Casey's going to be wearing that Expos hat at 50.
Yeah. It's already not relevant.
Well, I think about that a lot with the music I listen to, of like specifically like in the hardcore punk genre. It's a young man's game, and there's very few 40-year-olds that are invested in contemporary hardcore. There comes a point where, the bands that you grew up with, the bands that you were going to the most shows in, that's where you teeter off. And I recognize that, and I don't necessarily have an issue with that. What bothers me, and it's especially prevalent in the corporate world, of just this idea of like, okay, I stopped adapting at some point, and thus all of my ideas halted. There's nothing wrong with growing old, but you have to be cognizant, like this, that like when you're 17 and you're complaining about how, these adults don't understand, like whatever this new thing is, like that's the thing. At some point, you are going to be the adult that doesn't understand, and I don't like that people don't realize that, and it bugs me because I know that eventually I will be left in the dust and there will be ideas that pass me by, but I am constantly in a place where I am trying to adapt to whatever is next, and I don't think most people are.
That was a great monologue.
Yeah,
What do you want from me, Abe? You pitched it to me. I gave you my thoughts.
I don't know.
I think I just wrote a rap song. Here, you want to hear my punk song?
Sure, go ahead.
I don't want to go to school. I don't want to comb my hair. Parents suck.
Oi.
I would listen to that. That sounds fine.
That's not bad, right?
No, I would listen to it. It's not
I
bad.
don't want to go to school. I don't want to comb my hair. Parents suck.
That is the type of band that I would see opening up for a band upstairs at Sub T. Like I know what that band is like already.
Abe, all you have to do now is get a mic that sounds like 3 times worse, and then
Yeah, exactly. Let me try. Hang on. I don't want to go to school. I don't want to comb my hair. Or actually, it should be way off mic, right?
yeah, it's way.
I don't want to go to school.
Yeah, there you go.
Parents suck.
Is this the point of the show where you're done attacking me, or do you need to keep going?
No, that's a good. And I wrote a country song too, right?
Of course you
I'm
did.
headed down Highway 99. I got the wind in my hair. I'm headed down Highway 99. I got the wind in my hair. My truck's broken down and I'm on the run. God is my pickup truck.
All I have to say to that is my idea of heaven is chasing whitetail buck, as our friend Aaron Lewis once said.
God, that's the worst song ever, that Aaron Lewis song.
And I am someone that, for as pretentious as people think my music is, I have actively defended the band Stained at certain points, but Aaron Lewis's solo career is an abomination.
God, what's that song? I'm a country boy or whatever?
Something like that. It's something about like owning guns and being self-righteous. It's not a great song.
And people love it. They love it.
Oh God, yeah.
Think about the people listen. It's like people from like where I'm from. Like just they have nothing. It's just a field. You got your guns and deer to hunt.
My thought. Wait, hang on. I got to find this lyric now.
Well, and Eddie grew up in Akron, and he acts like I didn't grow up on 10 acres in the middle of the country. Like, look, I'm not saying I was struggling for my next meal, but I know simple country folk, all right? Eddie's acting like I'm some city slicker elitist.
Oh, here we go. Let's see. And my idea of heaven is chasing a whitetail buck. Wait, no, I got to get into the right sound here of that song. Because it's I'm a country boy or whatever, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Oh, that's not me. I rarely drink from the bottle. Oh, yeah. I rarely drink from the bottle, but I smoke a little weed. I still live in the... Wait, is that right? It's not.
Yeah, I mean that's near. It's all of the ideas of one person compounded into something that I just despise. It's hunting, and I don't drink from the bottle, but I smoke a little weed, and it's just awful.
Okay, sing it real quick so I get into the right mindset.
I think that line is, I don't drink from the bottle, but I smoke a little weed.
Oh yeah, okay. That's not me. I rarely drink from the bottle, but I smoke a little weed. I still live in the sticks where you wouldn't go, in a town to 1200 off an old dirt road, and a country boy is all... How's he a country boy? He was the
perfect Jacksonville, didn't he?
Do you remember Mud Shovel?
I don't remember Mud Shovel. I remember Puddle of Mud.
You take away... You don't remember that? That was their first hit.
No, not at all. And that's
first hit.
And what, Mud Shovel?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know them.
You won't think my pain. You won't think my driving me insane. Blah blah blah. You never heard that?
No. And like to Eddie's point of like him buying a Backstreet Boys CD, like I grew up on like the worst alternative rock of like early 2000s. Papa Roach, 3 Days Grace.
Baby.
Like Hinder. I had a babysitter that was really into Hinder. I remember that well.
Do you know my Hinder story?
I think so, but tell it again to remind me.
Okay, so Sludge and I, who worked at WKQX with me, him and I did a morning show in Richmond, Virginia, right?
Yeah.
And it was actually a day that I lost my job. Funny enough. So you want to talk about a shitty way to lose your job in radio? We did a morning show in Richmond on a station called Y101. Every year we did a food drive where we lived outside for a week to collect food for the homeless, okay?
Why is that? Why is those promotions are why? Why would you agree to that?
But we wanted to. We wanted to raise food for the homeless.
Okay, that's cool and all, but why did you have to be outside for a week straight to do that?
And don't be elitist when they're giving food to the homeless. Let Abe do his thing.
If you're willing to do something like that, it makes people want to come out. And because we had all kinds of stuff. We had like comedians out there, bands.
Yeah, but they weren't staying out there for an entire week.
No, they were staying out there like all night, though, a lot of them. But
Yeah.
whatever. It's just like it's something like, hey, we're out here in the parking lot. Come bring your food type thing.
Mm. Okay.
There's a big difference if you're actually out there as opposed to just sending like some guy from promotions who's sitting there looking at his phone.
I know the type.
Hey, go, hey, we're going to be at the Jewel on Ashland for the next week. Oh, okay. There's going to be a bucket you can throw food into. Would you rather do that or have a big production out there with all kinds of people and stuff?
I mean, it's just.
I follow. So where does hinder come into play?
So anyway, so we're out there for a week collecting food for the homeless. 2 hours after a week-long food drive, the general manager lets me know, we're putting Bubba the Love Sponge on every rock station in the company. We have to let you know. We knew about this a couple of weeks ago, but we're making a lot of money from this food drive, so we couldn't do it then.
Wow.
So anyway, so that's the worst way to get fired. You do a week-long food drive, and I've been some shitty ways I've lost my job.
Yeah, really inspiring for us young.
You don't want me to go through the way I've lost every job. They're all ridiculous.
Well, okay, hold on.
I've heard a lot of them.
I mean, you got free laser eye surgery in Miami, which is the biggest win of them all. But where does hinder come into the Bubba the Love Sponge story? What did I miss?
Okay, so after I lose the job, whatever, Sludge and I go to Hooters. Because I love Hooters wings. I know you do. I don't go there for the eye candy or whatever they want to say, right?
No, Abe's not like most men. Abe just goes to Hooters for the food.
You know what, Case? I'm telling you, I do.
You're so brave.
I'm not the guy hitting on. Hey. So what's up? You see this tat here? This means this says born hard or whatever. Like
born hard.
Hey, so what are you doing? Like, hey, asshole, stop hitting on the girl at Hooters. Hey, I pulled 3 Hooters girls out. I pulled 3 of them right out of the restaurant. That's what they always say. Dude, I pulled one out. It worked before. Okay, whatever. She probably had some issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
If the Hooters waitress is leaving with some guy, and by the way, it didn't last more than that one night, okay? That's all I wanted out of it. That's all I'm looking for, as long as I get mines. Whatever. So we walk into Hooters. Again, don't hit on the Hooters waitresses. You're a loser if you do that. What do you think? I just got this new Affliction shirt. Anyway, we walk into the Hooters and there's a table full of douchebags all in Affliction, right?
Yeah.
So I'm laughing. I'm like, God, what is that? Hinder? Ha 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 ha, right? So like 30 seconds later, the waitress comes by. I said, can I take your order? By the way, do you guys know who Hinder is? And I swear to God, it was Hinder eating at Hooters.
And you slammed your face on the table.
I, as a joke, said, what is that, Hinder? By the way, by the way, we were talking about shitty ways. Tim Sabian, this is the guy who hired me at Howard 101. This is the greatest guy I ever worked for, by the way. Tim Sabian took me from so I was doing a podcast. So after that job where I lost the job of doing the food drive, I started doing a podcast with the people I wanted to work with. I sent Tim tapes. He put us on Howard 101. He put us from a podcast onto like the biggest platform ever. He did that. Young talent. This is why I'm bringing on these guys. People need to care about the youth. The 2 Utes. Do you know what that is?
I don't. Oh, is that another Goodfellas reference? Am I letting you down now?
That's a My Cousin Vinny reference.
I haven't seen it.
The 2 Utes. No, but honestly, no one gives a fuck about young talent in radio. No one's building anything. Let's build, like, give someone a chance. They're dying. Like, Case, you'll do it for free.
I won't do it for free, but I'll work for the union minimum. I would be more than happy to.
Not even the union minimum. You'll go work somewhere for whatever they're going to pay you. If you could like an overnight show on a Saturday.
That's the thing that I don't understand. Radio not loading up young people on the weekends, like low pressure, do some sort of specialty show. Like, I'm not saying, I know what I'm doing by any means, but I also am not an idiot. I'll figure it out. It's just an opportunity issue.
I don't know if like the government is cutting in on you, but you're like, we're losing your camera and your mic's cutting out. Maybe turn the Wi-Fi off on your phone. Maybe it's sucking up too much Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Now I can't hear you.
No,
Now Casey's gone.
oh man, we lost him. Yeah, that being said, it would be awesome to have a show. I would do it anywhere, but I'm very happy. And
in that case, Case, call. I'm going to hang up on you. Call back that. Click on that link again. Click on that same link, and I'll put you right back up.
Way to mess it up, bro. That's Rada.
No, but really, it's like I don't understand why every radio station doesn't have one young guy like one of you guys. Oh, here we go. Can you hear me now, Case?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Now you're back.
Okay.
No,
my point was it's an opportunity issue. I'm not saying I know everything, but I'm young and I will figure it out when given the opportunity.
Here's what you do. You take one weekend shift, right?
Mm-hmm.
You put up some young guy that you think has talent. You just let them do anything because it's a non-rated segment anyway. No one cares about those ratings anymore. You just say, don't be a moron. Don't say anything racist. Don't say anything that's going to get the license pulled, and just do whatever you want. Treat it like it's your morning show. And now
I completely agree.
You
That is exactly what should be happening, but it's not anywhere that I know of. There is no youth movement, and thus, when the people on top now have to move on, there's no one there to replace them.
Exactly. That's the thing too. If I was program director, I would run the team, the station like a team, right? Your morning show and afternoon hosts are your two top guys, right? If your morning show ever leaves, your afternoon guy's ready to slide into mornings. Your night guy should be doing a morning show at night. He should be like the guy that you're willing to slide into afternoons or mornings. Your overnight guy is your next guy to slide into nights. Your weekenders are the ones you slide into overnights, and you're continuing to develop young talent. And even if you don't have a budget, trust me, you could figure it out. Again, I'm not saying pay you a bunch of money. Give a young kid a Saturday night show and let them go crazy. Every station should be doing that. That's why you keep seeing the same people over and over and over. Because no one is building young radio talent.
No, I completely agree. I mean, it goes to, especially if you want to talk about like the landscape of alternative rock, I think people are so afraid to put anything that, God forbid, it's looked at as active rock or just something in a different stratosphere. It's the same, since Foster the People came out, it's the same keyboard-driven, kind of pop song, kind of not, like we're going to call it alternative just because, and the whole format is stale.
Yeah. Well, that's no. The alternative format is fine, but like they could do whatever they want. I'm talking about like
talent. The talent.
No, I agree on the talent issue. I mean, trust me. I
it doesn't matter what I'm not talking about a certain format. This is just across the board. Like the stations should have someone young that they consider to be a star, that they're grooming, like your boy,
Chris D'Elia.
Like Chris D'Elia would groom. He would groom people, right?
Chris
grooming people nonstop.
I agree, Abe. I would be more than happy to do a show on the weekends anywhere in the country right now. I am just waiting for that opportunity.
Okay, sent me a text message that says I have 15 minutes, and then I have to bounce. You could have just said it.
Yeah.
No, well, no. Abe said,
I like that. I like that professional text message you just sent.
Well, yeah. Abe invites us on the show on Saturdays. Like, hey, do you guys want to do my podcast? Now, Abe has like 7 different irons in the fire. What show I'm doing? What I need to prepare. I don't know what's happening. I don't know how long the show is going to go. I blocked out a nice chunk of my afternoon for Abe, but what he fails to understand is that the world doesn't revolve around him, and I can't be on a restream call with him for the next 7 hours. I have another life to live.
Case has to listen to "Wet Ass Pussy" by Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah.
That is I just look. Cardi B's cool. She has like a purpose. We just live such drastically different lives from one another. I never understand what she's going on about.
Yeah, I that's another one. That's why I think I could write a rap song, because
you guys just aren't with it.
No, there's definitely a segment of the population that I just don't understand, and I've made my peace with that.
Mary chiming in with a very funny comment. I'm sure you'll be hearing from Base later. Ari, your 2 side pieces. All right, let's wrap it up on this, fellas. Okay, I don't even know who this guy is, but I thought this was very funny. This guy sent me a voicemail complaining about not doing enough podcasts. I don't even know the guy's name. Here you go. In a second.
Shout out.
Whatever. Hang on, I'll play it. Oh, there we go. Here we go. Sorry.
Hey, make Another fucking podcast already, you fucking no-hang motherfucker. Oh, I went to the fucking hospital. Yeah, bullshit. All right, that was like a fucking month ago. It's a new podcast. Different podcast is fucking, Vince McMahon sucked my dick shit. There's fucking you and fucking Roker, fucking then the regular one and the other one. Let's go. Make some fucking new content, motherfucker. Shit. Love you. Big fan. Later.
Long time, first time. All right, I'm going to hang up here.
Yeah. What's your name? First of all, sir. Real quick, and then here you go. There's your podcast, whatever your name is. Let's go through the questions real quick as we wrap things up. Tyler saying, "What's up? What's up, Tyler?" Let's see. Oh, this is interesting here. Hang on. Someone saying he lays in bed with his two friends.
Yeah, no.
Wawa subs are great too. You guys ever have Wawa subs?
No, because that's like a Northeast thing, isn't it?
Wawa's like Pennsylvania. It's like
not interested in the Northeast. No, thank you.
Wawa, by the way, is a gas station, and they sell subs in the gas station.
They sell subs, but their counterpart Sheets, I would argue, is just as good in people.
Oh, you're right. And that's the war. Because when I lived actually in that city where I saw Hinder, it was Wawa versus Sheets. Some people are like, Wawa's the best. No, Sheets. Blah, 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 blah.
We got Sheets.
Yeah, that's kind of one of those things. That's like every Halloween when somebody brings out a map of the most popular Halloween candy, and then every morning show in the country argues about it. I feel like Wawa Sheets is like the 365 days a year version of that. It's like, no, it's actually this. It's actually much better. And then you just recycle that content.
Exactly. All right. Well, gentlemen, if you want to follow Case, it's _Case Low. Apparently someone else got the Case Low handle. And Eddie, Yankee, YONKEECRUNDLE, Yankee Crundle on Twitter. Is this your handles all across all social media, gentlemen?
No.
Okay, Eddie's going to make it really hard for people to find him now. Instagram, it's Ed_Weisfeld69. On Facebook, it's Big EW69.
Facebook is
on Twitch, it's Eddie69W.
My PlayStation name is SadBoyCrying69. That's pretty cool.
Wait, let's make it easy. What's your podcast if people want to find your podcast?
Podcast, yeah. Check out the podcast. It's the Extraordinary Podcast Spectacular. It's on iTunes, Spotify, everywhere. Also a proud Anchor, part of the Anchor family. And
wait, what?
We're part of the Anchor family.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention the Anchor family.
Anchor family? What?
Yeah, I love Anchor, dude. It's the best.
They're not paying you you're not sponsored by Anchor.
I know powered by Anchor.
No, yeah. I mess with them because they have an actual it's one free, two it's easy to use. So I mess with them.
Case, what's your podcast?
So you can find me on both Twitter and Instagram at @CaseLow, CASELOWE. You can listen to me on the Art School Albums podcast, which comes out every Thursday.
The Art School Albums podcast, right?
The Art School Albums podcast. Every week we break down an album track by track in an attempt to curate the greatest art school playlist of all time. You can also find me on the Voices of Wrestling podcasting network on the show Open the Voice Gate, where myself and co-host Mike Spears break down the world of Dragon Gate professional wrestling, and anything on voicesofwrestling.com that I do or other people do it as professional wrestling coverage that does not insult your intelligence.
Wait, Case, again, you're considering Columbian Art School still?
Well, it's not a real school.
Hey, whoa! I'm about to graduate. Please, it's an art school. It's a real degree. Please.
Hey, I have the same degree. I'm not hating here.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, this was a good time. And again, tell 3 friends, and that's it. 100,000 listeners for me is better than 500,000 for an ass shaker on Instagram. 100,000 listeners for me. You know what that means?
Freedom.
That means I'll be getting just enough paper with supplementing it with online poker. I'll be good.
Perfect situation.
So, and by the way, tomorrow we have a new Vince Please Steal Our Ideas podcast with Ryan and Sam. That's going to be great because we're going to be talking about SummerSlam, the WWE Thunderdome. Again, in case you just mentioned wrestling, that's reminded me.
I know I did. Yes, I do know what you're talking about.
All right, fellas. Well, this was fun catching up, and we'll have you guys on again.
Please.
Later.